We're on the big island of Hawaii to get a first look at the new 2024 Toyota Tacoma in TRD Sport, Limited, Pro, and new Trailhunter trims. That's coming up right now on Driving Sports TV. Yeah! The Toyota Tacoma is the best-selling mid-sized truck in America, and it has been for the past 18 years. So it's a big deal that for 2024, the Tacoma is all new. And when I say all new, I actually mean it. The 2024 Tacoma has new engines, new transmissions, a new chassis, and the first ever Trailhunter trim. We're going to go into all the details, but first let me tell you about another TRD that just came out. The TRD Watch from Original Grain, who is also a sponsor of this video. This is a limited edition, officially licensed TRD timepiece with solar octane orange accents from Original Grain. Go to originalgrain.com/DSTV to save $100 on the TRD collection. There are 3 different designs. It includes a sweet hardshell case with a number of useful accessories and a plaque of authenticity. The watch itself has a number of design elements lifted from the Toyota Tundra TRD Pro, including a tasteful amount of solar octane orange accents and the digital camo pattern from the truck's fenders. It also features solar movement and a chronograph function. This metal band has blackwood inlays, and I think it looks really great. It also comes with a rubber TRD strap if you really want to mix things up. Go to originalgrain.com/DSTV to save $100 on any of the new TRD branded watches. Before we get into the individual trims, let's cover some of the basics of this new truck. The new Tacoma will be available with 2 new powertrains. Yes, the old V6 and indecisive automatic are gone. The base SR comes with a 2.4-liter 4-cylinder turbo producing 228 horsepower and 243 pound-feet of torque. Higher trims increase output up to 278 horses and 317 pound-feet of torque. It can be connected to an 8-speed automatic or a 6-speed manual. Yes, Toyota will still be offering a stick shift on select models. With the manual, that same engine puts out 270 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque. You got all that? Let's move on. The real highlight is the new hybrid powertrain that comes as an option on the TRD Sport, Off-Road, and Limited trims. The TRD Pro and Trailhunter come standard with this hybrid setup. Based on the same 2.4-liter petrol engine, it adds a 48 horsepower electric motor into the 8-speed automatic transmission. That boosts output to an impressive 326 horsepower and 465 pound-feet of torque. Quick reminder, the new Ranger produces only up to 430 pound-feet of torque. So this new Taco powertrain is not messing around. Rear-wheel drive trims get an automatic limited slip differential. 4-wheel drive gets a 2-speed transfer case with 8-track and an automatic LSD. An electronic rear locker is standard on TRD Pre-Runner, TRD Off-Road, Pro, and Trailhunter trims. Those upper trims also get the full off-road suite, including Multi-Terrain Select and the next generation crawl control, which is much quieter than the outgoing version. We already tested it last year with the new Tundra TRD Pro, and we're very impressed. For 2024, the Tacoma gets a limited trim. This features full-time 4-wheel drive with a torsion center differential, similar to the current generation 4Runner Limited. This can be locked, of course, for a 50-50 torque split when needed. Similar to the 4Runner Limited, this is a luxury trim as it forgoes some of the more aggressive off-road features like skid plates and Multi-Terrain Select. But it does have variable adaptive suspension, which is pretty cool. In the second row, we have some interesting stuff to look at. You see, because this particular trim has the hybrid powertrain, there's no storage under the seats. That is where the battery for the hybrid system lives. We can, however, fold this down. Let me figure this out. There we go. Not completely level, so if you need a lot of in-cab storage, the Tacoma may not be the one for you. Now let's check out some of the other features. It's a little snug in the second row. My head isn't hitting, but just barely. Also, this is not where I would be seated. the seat should actually come back a little bit. So it's going to be snug for an adult. I'm 6'1", legs torso proportionate. I do not fit very well back here, but it is serviceable. I do get optional power down here, AC, as well as 2 USB-C sockets. And that's basically it. Okay, moving on up here. Oh, right, it's tight. So I gotta move the seat back, which of course makes things even worse for the second row. Now, this interior, wow, it is modern. It actually looks really good. We have big dials, we have this massive 14-inch display. Everything is in good reach. It kind of makes sense. I really like it. Now, for controlling the 4 high and 4 auto that we have in this one, it's a dial down here, which is neat. I also get a tow and drive mode selector. And then next to it, we get a tow mode and a surround view camera system button there. I do like having a charging pad for my phone right there, so I can still kind of glance down at it on occasion. I'm not supposed to do that, but if I wanted to, I could. Yeah, this is pretty nice. The seats are good. You know, it really reminds me of kind of like a 3/4 scale Tundra, and that's a good thing because the interior of the Tundra is actually pretty good. Oh, and up here we also get the removable JBL speaker, baby. It's corny, but I kind of like it. Overall, I think that this is a great interior, but this is just the first of 4 that we're going to go look at. So let's move on to the next one. Across the lineup, all new Tacomas get a composite bed for weight savings and durability. This integrates a number of available options, including tie downs, up to 2400 watt AC power, and even an air compressor. The underpinnings of the new truck is Toyota's TNGA F platform, shared with the Tundra and Sequoia, so it's still a proper body-on-frame design. Aluminum panels have been added for lightness in places, and the chassis is more rigid compared to the outgoing model. Lower trims still get leaf springs in the back, but upper trims have moved to a multi-link setup. There are also disc brakes all around, with TRD models getting larger front discs. Maximum towing capacity is rated at 6,500 pounds. Across the lineup, the Tacoma has Toyota's new Safety Sense 3.0 system as standard. This provides pre-collision, lane departure alerts, dynamic radar cruise control, lane tracing, and road sign assist. Blind spot monitor and rear cross traffic alerts are options on lower trims and standard on upper. In person, the new Tacoma looks amazing. The team at Toyota's Calthy Design Center in Michigan really nailed it. The wide stance and proportions really look the part, with one exception. The nose on this TRD Sport just looks awkward. It has this big scoop sticking up there. It's way too busy. Ah yes, it appears, the hood scoop. Non-functional. And then you also have this ridiculously large air dam below. Now luckily that can be removed with 6 bolts, so that's a good thing. It's nice that this one here is equipped with a manual transmission. It is a 6-speed, feels pretty good. Now they do include anti-stall tech, so I'm not going to stall it, and also it includes rev matching on downshift. Of course, firstly, we're not actually driving it today, so we'll have to see how that is when we get a first drive with this in November. Now this is what I'm talking about. This is the new TRD Pro, and it takes inspiration from the global Hilux pickup. Now, a lot of people think that the Hilux is the Tacoma in the United States, but it's not true. The global Hilux is a more rugged and durable version of the Tacoma we've had historically. The headlights, special grille, and in the back here, even the tailgate spoiler is standard at this trim level. You also get recovery hooks, finally Toyota, and a powered rear gate. In the lineup, this is the Desert Runner. It competes with the Ranger Raptor and the Colorado ZR2. And up we go. This TRD Pro features Fox QS3 3-way adjustable internal bypass dampers with remote reservoirs. We don't have one here, but there will be a new TRD Off-Road. That will come with new Bilstein suspension with remote reservoirs and also a choice of engines. You do not have to get the hybrid setup like on this TRD Pro. Let's get out of the rain, power this on. But first, I want to point out something. You notice? I fit. I'm 6'1", legs torso proportionate, and I have room for my head even with a sunroof. I've never been able to say that about a Tacoma. One of the most impressive new things about this truck are the seats. They're called isodynamic performance seats. They stabilize the driver's field of vision during high-speed runs over rough terrain using a built-in shock system that allows for movement independent of the truck. It sounds crazy, and I can't wait to try it. It's even adjustable, which is really cool. So the interior, you know, red interiors are not my thing, but I think it actually looks good here. These seats are fancy and they are worthy of this like really bold red treatment. They feel amazing. Like I am so nestled in here. I just want to hit a desert at high speed because this thing, it just feels the bit. Now we also have some red accents throughout the, the dash, and I think they look okay. They didn't go overboard up here, which I like. The steering wheel here is really thick, and honestly, I actually really like it. The dimples just feel great, and we have nice integrated controls that are consistent with what you see on the Tundra and the Sequoia and other Toyota vehicles. On the right, we have the adaptive cruise control stuff. On the left, we have radio and menu control with the button here to adjust the gauge cluster. The gauge cluster in the TRD Pro is a digital display, and I think it actually works really good. It gives lots of information. I can toggle through all sorts of data points, and I can also see configurations at a glance. If all the changes you've seen so far don't do it for you, well, there's one more trim level we're gonna look at. It's called the Trailhunter, and this one is big. It's no less than an overland adventure vehicle straight from the factory. You can select a crew cab with a 5-foot bed or a double cab with a 6-foot setup. This supports adding a tent, canopy, or shower to make it your own. You also get a 20-inch bar light, rigid fog lamps, triangulated bed lighting, exterior bed lights, a standard 2,400 watt AC inverter, accessory wiring with in-cab toggles, and a utility bar. For suspension, this is equipped with the ARB Old Man Emu position-sensitive 2.5-inch monotube shocks with rear piggyback remote reservoirs. Like the TRD Pro, the Trailhunter features robust rear recovery points. This includes Goodyear Wrangler Territory RTs in a 265/70R18 fitment, just like the TRD Pro. It even includes a snorkel, which elevates the air intake. Very good for crossing water. These are actual rock rails. They are bolted to the frame and they're rated for half of the GVW. Nice. Okay, this is cool. Let's start it. Yeah, it sounds fine. So the iForce Max engine is, of course, a hybrid powertrain, which means that the engine may power cycle here if you're listening. Now, as far as this interior goes, this is really purposeful and cool for the most part. Don't particularly love the Toyota up there on the dash. They did the same thing with the Tundra, putting a big old logo up there, and I'm like, I don't need that. What if we can probably just take that right off. The center console here has lots of functionality built in, and it's in a very small, compact space. Here we can switch between 2 high, 4 high, and 4 low with a toggle in the front. We also have crawl, MTS, tow haul mode, and drive modes integrated neatly in this dial. Then down below here we have a stabilizer disconnect. Yes, it has an automatic disconnecting stabilizer bar, which gives you more travel where you need it. That is for the front. And then also we have a rear locker, and this uses a new electronic locker that will engage a lot quicker than the old one, which is nice. Here we have a tow function, and then we have the surround view button, which is great. For aircon, it is still dials and switches. That's really nice. But one of the bigger highlights on upper trims is this new digital gauge cluster. It provides a ton of information, and it just looks amazing. So overall, I am very impressed with this vehicle. I'm looking forward to driving it. Right now, all we can do is poke it because this is a hand-built one-off demo prototype. So we will be driving them later this year, but not quite yet. Pricing and economy numbers have yet to be announced. We'll have those at a later date. And if you're looking for an iForce Max, those aren't going to be coming off the production line until next year. The first models available later this year will have the 2.4-liter turbo. So what do you think? Did Toyota knock it out of the park? Post a comment below. Also, be sure to visit our sponsor, Original Grain, and the new TRD line of watches. Click originalgrain.com/DSTV to save $100 on one of these limited edition timepieces. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I'm Ryan Douthit. Aloha from Hawaii.